preparing for 100 days of the hundreds. I've been wanting to do this for the longest time, to really commit to something, and I decided today's the day. So today is the number one prep day. Tomorrow the hundreds actually starts. But I think that in order to, hopefully bring some people along with me on this journey, even if I don't, it's okay. I'm gonna do this journey, and that's really what it's about. And but anyway, in order to bring you along with me, I'm going to do a prep day. So today we're gonna just have about a 10-minute prep on how do you do the Pilates hundreds? What is the Pilates hundreds? You might have heard of it. Why is it called the hundreds? It's because we do a percussive breath, and we do 5 pulses in, 5 pulses out. And we do this 10 times. So that adds up to 100 breath pulses. And as we get started, we might not even start with 10, but we're building to it. So we're looking at the hundreds for 100 days. Today is basically the eve of the 100 days of hundreds. So we got to have a little bit of prep. So first I want to teach you what is the percussive breathing. So percussive breathing, we want to be challenging the breathing diaphragm. I'm going to keep it really simple. We're going to look at where our lungs are, which is right here underneath my hands, and they're protected by the ribs. Underneath that, we have our breathing diaphragm. So in the beginning of yoga, often we talk about belly breathing. We're not doing belly breathing. This is quite specific. So we're going to have a bit of tone in the abdomen, and the breath is going to expand into our low lungs. So we're purposely holding that diaphragm a little bit firm while we expand the low lungs, and we challenge the intercostal muscles, and we challenge the breathing diaphragm. So in order to do it correctly, it's really not that easy, but let's give it a try. So first we find our ribs, and we're just going to breathe into those low ribs. So as you inhale, they expand. And as you exhale, they get a little smaller, or they contract. One more time, just feeling that movement, they expand. And we want to think about them expanding out sideways, and then they contract. So now we're going to do that same movement, but we're going to do it in a pulse. So we're like a sipping breath. In, out, out, out. So we're going to start with just 3. So you'll see what I mean. So I'm going to start with an inhale, then go exhale. So I want to think of those ribs moving. Now you could do the exhale with the mouth open or closed. I like to, move it around. Typically it's done with the mouth open, but in general, I've learned that it's, studying Buteyko, I prefer to keep my mouth closed, but you do whatever you prefer. So let's just try it again. So this provides us a little bit of a rhythm. So everything's going to coordinate. There's a few things going on at once. So today we're going to look at the first few pieces, and we'll see, maybe we'll put them all together. I want to keep this a little bit short. Okay, so the hundreds position, we're going to be laying on our back with our knees bent. Let's find that same breathing in this position. Again, we're going to keep it to 3. Okay, so that's our percussive breathing. Let's add some arms to it. So the arms are going to be alongside your body. You reach out through your fingertips, and instead of spreading your fingers like this, we actually want to kind of glue the fingers together and make like little spoons here. So if you were in Shavasana and your fingers in Savasana naturally just kind of curl, it's that same little curl, but we glue the fingers together. So they're like little spoons or little paddles. I'm going to reach my fingertips far away, and the arm beats look like this. Down, relax, down, float, down. So they have a bit of an accent, down, relax, down. So I'm using this posterior deltoid, the back of my shoulder, to activate the arm. In a sense, you turn your arm into a lever, and you're moving from the top of the lever. Down, float, down, down, down. So now we want to coordinate that with our breathing. Not so easy at first, but give it a try. So we're going to inhale to prepare. So that's the arm beats or arm strokes. And you'll start to feel some of these muscles get a little bit activated. If you think about moving your hands, it'll start to look a little bit like this, floppity, floppity, flop, and we don't want that. Think of your arm is one lever, one piece, and you're actually moving from the top of the lever, so it looks more like that. And it's a down, relax, down, float, down, float, down, float. Okay, so that's first two pieces. The third piece we're going to look at today, we're just going to leave our legs on the floor. The next piece is the hundreds curl. So typically in a gym setting perhaps, or who knows where, but you might be have done something like an ab crunch, where you're just kind of crunching the front of your body. Pilates is a little bit different. We want to always be opening our body. So the distance from the pubic bone to that bottom of your sternum, the xiphoid process, that distance ideally stays about the same. Of course, it's not perfect, but that's what we imagine. So we want to think of like a little picture hook action from that bottom of the sternum. So we lift our head by first lowering our eyes, lengthen the neck, lower the chin, look to your sternum, and we want to keep that space as we come up and curl and float our arms away. I find I like to walk my ribs away just so that I can keep that space. Now, for some of us, it might be difficult to bring our head into this vertical position and get that curl. If that's the case, you want to hold your head, support your head with your hands, and you can even do the hundreds like that, just breathing. Might look just like that. Okay, so finding that hundreds curl, another piece of this is that we are not necessarily squishing or flattening our lumbar spine. We're training our body that our strength is there in a functional position. Our strength doesn't only show up when we just like do this and flatten our lumbar to the ground. So our hundreds curl is going to look like this. I'm going to inhale. I'm going to think about lengthening as I start my exhale, and then curl up and around while I keep that distance and float my arms away, hug my fingers in, walk my ribs away if I need to. Now we don't want to curl the tail like this. We keep the tailbone relatively flat. So this is my motivation for doing the hundreds. All right, for 100 days, we're going to see what happens. Little experiment. Let's give it a try here. We're going to inhale, exhale in 3 pulses. Good. Now I'm just going to rock my head from side to side. It's a little bit of neck strengthening going on there, so you might be feeling that. And we might be feeling it in our abs. So just taking that little rest, maybe rock your knees from side to side. As we get going into this 100 Days of the Hundreds challenge, I won't have to do so much explanation, and we're going to start to, maybe build a little bit, a few exercises around the hundreds. Let's try it one last time. And I'm going to increase my breath pulse to 4. So I'm going to inhale, lower my eyes, my chin, lengthen as I come up into my curl. Try to keep that feeling of length through my body. I still have a little bit of a lumbar curve, just natural. Inhale. I've got my spoons handy here. Hug your thumb in, hug your baby finger in. Okay, so that was our start, and do this one a few times if you need to, just to get those few pieces, and then tomorrow we're taking off. Thanks so much. See you tomorrow.